Happy Saturday. Welcome to the Paradigm Shift, episode 31. Big guest on today. Couldn't be more excited. Just got back from a nice run as we gear up for the New York City Marathon in 2 weeks. Jakey Bakey in the house. I love you so much. Big Dave, I just texted you before. I'm going to weird you out today. Let's get nuts. Everybody's out today. Everybody's out today. Drop in the comments where you're from and what you got on the agenda this weekend. And for the Articulate Alligator, Big Bad Dave Meltzer, and myself. Drop them in, let's engage.
What's going on?
Oh man, I'm obsessed with you. It just gets more and more weird every single time.
Nice. I like that shirt. Fully developed.
How you doing?
I'm awesome. I'm here in Indiana. Going to go to the Ohio State Indiana game. It's Father's Weekend down here at the University of Indiana. So I got Jakey Bakey Keaton, everybody down here with me. We're going to go see David Portnoy. He's doing a barstool thing. I got Rick Zeiler down here. One of my friends is an umpire for the NFL. Brian, good to see you. We got just a variety of things going on. It's going to be an active day, my friend.
That's unbelievable. And we have a great guest speaker coming on. You're doing all the things. Just all exciting things, Dave.
Yeah, this week I'll be prepared to actually introduce this guy. He is an incredible hero of mine. I got caught off guard last week with Ben. I love him, and didn't know how to appropriately give him his props. So I'm prepared for Danny Clark, who's our super guest today.
Dave, we have a weird question for the audience. They want to know how last night on office hours your lips look so pink.
Yeah, they put the lipstick on me, makeup on me, and we got a heck of a producer, man. He makes everybody look a little bit peculiar, but there's some great content there. And how can you look good when I have such superstar guest on that show? I want you.
Yeah, last star-studded.
Yeah, it's been a blessing. I can't, people just yes, 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 and that's what's been going on in my life. Just yes, 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 and when you appreciate what you have, you acknowledge it and give it away and leave a bigger vessel to fill and then ask for what you want. All the universe can say is yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, I got to tell you, just as a fan, I love the show. Not just because I'm on it or because I'm obsessed with you. Just like as an entrepreneur out there, right? Like, what's better on a Friday night to be able to watch some of the world's greatest in different endeavors and talk about what makes them tick and how they propel themselves to success with what they're doing. I just think it's such a cool concept. And for the audience listening, if you don't already watch it, office hours every Friday night, Bloomberg. It's also on Amazon Prime, 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Pacific. Unbelievable show. And obviously the main event himself, Big Bad Dave Meltzer, the most handsome cat, articulate alligator in the house, no big deal.
Yes, I'll tell you, it's the best thing I've done. The most quality, besides the pink lips, there's a lot of great quality in there. And it's nice to sit behind a desk as well and look good behind the desk.
Yeah. You ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock and roll, baby. Let's make it happen.
Let's do it. Let's dive in for a moment on pain being a prerequisite to propel you.
Yeah, it's one of the nuances, epiphanies that I've had over the last few years is pain is most of the time seen as punishment. The setbacks, failures, mistakes that we make are seen like punishment. And so many people see it and ask themselves, why me? Or they see it as punishment and even think, try me, which, is a waste of energy and emotion. When you see pain, not as a why me or even a try me like I used to teach, when you see it as propelling us and be grateful for it and say, not why me or try me, but what me, meaning what does this mean for me? A better place, a better situation to be in. This is propelling me, pushing me, just like you're putting your hand in a fire like a 3-year-old and your mom slaps it and tells you, don't do that. And you think she's punishing you. No, she's not. She's propelling you to a safer place, a better position. All the mistakes, failures, and setbacks, it's just, those are the fires that you don't want to put your hand in. You should be grateful that you didn't get that job. You should be grateful that you did marry that girl. You should be grateful that you didn't get into the school that you wanted to get into, or you didn't get the business opportunity that you thought you want to. Just remember, you used to think it was okay to put your hand in a fire, and it took your mom slapping your hand to teach you it's not okay. So this is how the universe, if you believe there's an all-knowing, all-powerful, omniscient being that loves you as much as you love your children and your parents love you, then you will know when you're being punished, you're not being punished. You're being propelled to the better place.
That's right. And let me just acknowledge you for a second, Big Dave. You're not just a dear friend of mine, you're a mentor to me. And for that very concept and helping you really illustrate that to me is the same reason why when I had that tumor in my foot, I wasn't heartbroken. And now we're running the New York City Marathon in 2 weeks to raise money for cancer in honor of my dad and so forth. And I just knew the whole time, it was a little tough at first, but I knew it was propelling me to something that we weren't going to do, Chicago. And because of you ingraining that mentality in my head, it did wonders for me. So thank you for that.
I got a shout out to Colleen as she had a little mishap, and I will tell her that she fell down the staircase and hurt herself yesterday. That
Colleen.
it was propelling her to a better place. We got to figure out where that place is, but I hope she's okay. I see her on here this morning. I want to send her my love. I've been sending her my healing powers with the quantum healer that I am, but thank goodness she's okay. And I know that there's a lesson in falling downstairs somewhere.
100%. Jesse, if you're there, let's get Big Dan on. Dan, if you're there.
Oh, boy.
Chef Marshall and how everybody's out today.
Everybody's up this morning. Good morning, Chef Marshall, great person.
Chef
and Lori.
Rachy, everybody's out. Guys, drop a question in. I'm going to bring on the dynamic Dan Clark. There he is. He's handsome. Wow.
He's so tall. I'm not sure he's going to fit on the screen, bro.
I'm going to be the least handsome cat on this live right now.
Humility gets you everywhere.
I love you, buddy.
What's up, boys?
Yes. There he is.
Two of my heroes, I'm telling you.
Dynamic Dan.
How you doing?
Are amazing. You know, I'm sitting here thinking I better go fall down the stairs so I can propel myself to a better Saturday.
All right.
Everyone has different stairs to fall down, Dan, and you've fallen down your own stairs and picked yourself up. Can I introduce my good friend here, Craig?
The floor is yours.
This guy is a mentor of mine. I've watched him for years. He's written more books than most people have read. It's incredible. I think it's 37 bestsellers or something like that. He's spoken around the world, thousands of speeches around the world. He has the most keynotes of any American I know in Russia. Of all places. What does that mean, though? This means that this person is someone who sits in the situation you want to be in, that he has an extreme amount of situational knowledge, experience, even the dummy tax. This guy fell down some stairs in his life, and he has taught me how to propel myself to a better place, a better situation, including not even being able to walk, Craig, completely paralyzed playing football. His dreams, worse than his legs not being able to work, his dreams were shattered as well. And here he stands today, an icon, a legend. I always am afraid to call people legends because some people make the mistake and call me that every once in a while. I'm like, that just means I'm old. I don't like to be a legend. I want to be a player, man. Anyway, Dan Clark is the player. Welcome to Craig Siegel and my paradigm shift.
How is that
so much? Both of you guys are my heroes, and you know, I hope I can remind everybody who tunes in every week to listen to your office hours and interacts with you, Craig, and you, Dave, that one moment in time can change us forever. It only takes one nugget of wisdom. It only takes one experience. And already this morning, I've learned something that will change my life forever if I just implement it from you two geniuses. In my words, pain is a signal to grow, not to suffer. Once you learn the lesson the pain is teaching you, the pain goes away. So in life, there's no mistakes, only lessons. And both of you guys are specimens. You know, I'm a songwriter. I'd write a song about Dave, but I don't know what rhymes with stud, muffin, hunk of burning love. But with both of you guys so physically fit and you dealing with the tumor in your foot and still going after that New York Marathon, Craig, it reminds me of the mindset that we have when we go into the gym. I've already been downstairs in my home gym. I've already put in my hour. I've already worked out. But the mindset in the gym is to put more weight on purpose, create discomfort. And then for some reason, when we exit the gym, we want front row seats, backstage passes. We want to sale at every store. We want princess parking. We want every day to be 90 degrees with a little cool breeze. And for some reason, every single time I get around both of you collectively in Vegas or individually, you remind us just in a matter of seconds that we owe it to ourselves to push ourselves to our ultimate capacity and potential as a human being. Because if we're not, someone else somewhere else is. And when we meet him, he's going to win. And so this meeting, this 15 minutes together in the morning, and every single time we have an opportunity to tune into Meltzer and to tune into your wisdom individually and collectively, it literally can change our lives forever. And I don't mean to bogart the conversation, but when I was paralyzed for those 14 months, now that I look back on it, to your point, Dave, it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. Don't misunderstand me. My accident wasn't one of the best things that happened to me, but who I became as a man and what I learned about priorities and love and honor as a result of going through that setback clearly made it one of the best things that ever happened to me. So bring on the stares, baby. Bring on the punches in the face. Bring on the discomfort. Bring on the Meltzer. Bring on the Craig. I'm so fired up every single time I'm around you guys. I love you. I honor you because you consolidate your wisdom into hooks. That's what sells the song.
This is
it's
awesome.
The one hook. It's the I stayed to help her cry. You know, it's that I love you guys. Oh my gosh.
This is awesome. You know, there's an old expression, you never want to be the smartest guy in the room. I certainly am not the smartest guy or even the second smartest guy on this live. And I'm just so grateful to be here with both of you right now. I'm going to dive right in. Big Dan, you ready for me?
I'm ready, although I'm never the smartest guy in the room. 7th grade was my senior year. Let's go there for a minute.
That's awesome. Go ahead, Craigie.
Talk about when it comes to sales and some other things in life, you describe it as the transfer of trust. I haven't heard it articulated like that, and I just think that's so beautiful. Tell us what you mean by that.
Well, we do business with those whom we trust. And trust is based on consistency. It's based on being the same off stage as we are on stage. And so the way we create trust in the sales world is to remember that it's what we do when it's what we do before we ask for the sale that matters. So in real estate, we always talk about location, location, location. But in the real world, especially in the world of leadership and sales and coaching, it's visibility, visibility, visibility. When I see Meltzer at a charitable event, and I see him willingly helping to raise millions of dollars for a noble cause, that builds my trust for him when he's on stage, when he's mentoring in his coaching programs. The same thing with you, Craig. When I see what you do before you hop on this Instagram Live, when I see you off stage, when perhaps we don't think anyone's watching, that's where we cultivate the trust. So an example, I have 4 children, 1 son, 3 daughters. When they were teenagers, I realized that we couldn't invite all of the parents of our children's friends to have a collective parenting meeting and agree on how we were going to raise our children the same. That's never going to happen. But what we could do is control the culture within our home. So when someone walked in our house, we weren't prudes. It wasn't self-righteousness. It was, we celebrate the social graces of please and thank you and kindness. But one of the things that we took pride in was making sure, especially with our teenage daughters, that in our home, we never allowed gossip or backbiting. And in one teaching moment, I walked downstairs with a tray full of some snacks and some drinks, and I interrupted our 3 daughters with all of their friends, and they were in a conversation, gossiping and bad-mouthing, excuse me, a couple of young ladies who were not in her home. What a perfect teaching moment. I said, ladies, do you understand that if you're talking badly about someone who's not here, the second you leave our home, you're going to worry and wonder what people are saying behind your back when you're not around? I said, we must be loyal to those who are not present. That's the way we transfer trust. And when I've had a chance to fly with the United States Thunderbirds and do the whole air show, you want to talk about trust. You're going 640 knots with your wingspan only 15 feet apart. You have to trust the training of the pilot next to you, or everybody's going to crash and burn. So I'm not surprised that you asked me that question right out of the chutes. What's the transference of trust? But as I honor and admire both of you on the air, that's one of the most important ingredients of every team. Every single athlete you've represented, Dave, if they're going to make it big time in their professional sport, they have to be trusted on the field that they're going to do their job. I played defensive end, and I showed up at the line of scrimmage every single play in a bad mood. And if I committed that no one was going to run through my 3.5 feet of real estate to score the winning touchdown, I had to do my job, but I couldn't do my job as a defensive end if I worried about the defensive tackle next to me who never kept the training rules and was a complete bonehead, especially when the option came my way. Because I didn't trust him, now I'm trying to pick up the fullback on the dive when I'm supposed to have the quarterback on the option pitch. And so now I can't do both jobs well, and I might make a mistake. We absolutely have to trust, and where we develop trust is off-task time. If you're only running when the coach is watching you in practice, I'm not going to trust you in game time. If you show up early and stay up late, if you show up early to practice and you're the last one to leave, like the Michael Jordan stories, like the Kobe Bryant stories, I'm going to trust you during game time to throw you the ball in the last couple of minutes of the game. It's all about trust. Thank you so much. That's the most important ingredient in any relationship. The hardest to gain and the easiest to lose.
Yeah, I have to add, Dan, too, that, I started to pack a fine-tooth comb, and, I started utilizing it because one of the reasons I have this need to be offended is that in my life, I haven't always lived with that fine-tooth comb of credibility. Oversell, we were talking about sales originally, overselling, back-end selling, lying, manipulating, cheating myself, and then projecting that onto others. And when I started to carry this fine-tooth comb and looking at the words compared to the actions, compared to my beliefs even, and using the fine-tooth comb to align all three of those to make sure that I was completely in integrity and credibility, even if the integrity and credibility was something that did not put me into a great light, that I could illuminate my weaknesses, share the hurts and pains and traumas with people. I know you and I did an interview at the Wynn Hotel, the Blue Wire Studios, where I have the playbook, and I could barely get through it because of the emotional connection. Both of us broke down several different times because of an emotional connection. That to me is where that fine-tooth comb of integrity, if we were sharing our souls, we weren't trying to impress one another. We weren't trying to impress the people filming us. We weren't trying to impress the listeners in the audience. We simply were sharing with credibility who we were. And that's where I believe this trust and that bond between you and I, because of that interview, we've always been great fans of one another. We've always associated with one another. But when you left there, you had a connection with me that will never be broken now. There's a trust, a transference of trust that expanded even further than what we had in our associate friendship. Is now more family, more relative especially. So use a fine-tooth comb to align not just the positive things, but live that life of what you say, do, think, and believe with credibility, and people will trust you.
Yeah, and I believe that every person born into this world was born with the conscience and inherent ability to discern truth from error, right from wrong. And we commonly call that ability our conscience. It's that still small voice. It's that connection with the divine, if you will, that whispers, that still small voice that whispers, this is what you're really supposed to do. And if that's true, if we all have been born with a conscience, the philosophical belief has to go to the reality that our conscience will never fail us. Only our desire to follow it decreases as we continue to do the wrong thing. So the classic example is if everyone in this Instagram live, if somehow we were live belly to belly in a room and we exited and entered a different room, and that room smelled so badly, it stunk so badly, it repulsed us so badly that our eyes started to water and our noses started to bleed, and we were kicked into automatic gag reflex. If we stayed in that room for 5 to 10 minutes, suddenly it would no longer smell. We had become desensitized, and it now became the new normal. And that's what's been happening during this pandemic, which is so critically important to me honoring both of you gentlemen today, because when I'm around you, it up levels the temperature in the room. It up levels and it dissipates the smell, and it allows us to clarify what's right and what's wrong and get us back in tune with our conscience, but get us back in tune with what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to be. You know, we've all heard we become the average of the 5 people we associate with the most, and that's a compliment, because we must be willing to pay any price and travel any distance to associate with extraordinary human beings, even online. So tuning in to the playbook with you, Dave, and tuning into your wisdom, your Saturday mornings, your shows, your podcasts, that's critically important, because if we're currently in that new normal and the new normal sucks, you guys invite us out of that smelly room and help us clarify what we're supposed to be feeling, what we're supposed to be thinking to take ourselves to the next level. And to your point, as you began this Insta Live, sometimes you need somebody in your life to say, get up and go again. We don't need somebody to say, oh, I'm so sorry, lay there. I need somebody to say, get up and go again. You got pain in your foot, you got a tumor, and you're still going to run the New York Marathon while I'm sitting here trying to save my money up for liposuction and a tummy tuck. I need to be around you more to push me, to propel me to personal greatness, because even though we're fired up, sometimes we can't stay fired up all the time, and that's why we need each other, and we need your shows, and I need more belly-to-belly time with both of you.
Well, just so you know, Craig, too, one of my favorite stories that Dan shared with me is when he was paralyzed, the first 15 doctors that he went to said, hey, man, I'm sorry, you're never going to walk again. And somebody asked him, why you keep going to more doctors? You're never going to walk again. He said, because I don't want a doctor that doesn't believe I'm going to walk again. And he found one.
Yep. All we have to do, you know, the great quote in leadership, the purpose of a leader is to grow more leaders who believe what you believe, not generate more followers. And what was so critically important for me, Dave, that you need to understand, when I left the Wynn Hotel, I had a chance to meet David, you know, we were talking, and Glenn. And what I realized, the same thing with you, Craig, is that through the law of attraction, we know we don't attract who we want, we attract who we are. But everybody in your studio that day, Dave, thinks like you think. They believe like you believe. The same thing with you, Craig, in the moments that we interacted in Las Vegas. When you walked in that room, people stopped and said, who is he? What does he do? And it had nothing to do with your $9,000 jacket. It had to do with your id. It had to do with your it factor. It had to do with your ambience, your confidence, your willingness to give and love. And I'm telling you what, Dave, I met some of the classiest people in those few moments in your studio, because you and your personality and your amazing trustworthiness and loyalty, you attracted those people into your world. And that's why I was so honored to be invited into your world, because when I left, I said, I like me best when I'm with you. I want to see you again. I like me best when I'm with you. I want to see you again. Isn't that the essence of every personal and professional relationship?
Wow.
I know.
I'm replaying this. People they're going crazy in the notes. I'm replaying this as a podcast, Craig, too. So this has been one of the best conversations. I'm killing myself. It's Father's Weekend here. If you guys want to continue the conversation, all I have is love for you. But if you give Dan Clark and David Meltzer only 15 minutes to share, we're screwed. So
have me back. I'd love to see you again, Dave.
You got it, man. I'm going to go watch a great football game tonight, Ohio State, Indiana. I love with my daughter from the sidelines. You have 3 daughters and 1 son like I do. You can imagine how full I am today, not just to have and be here, but to have you two start out my day. Thank you both so much. I'm going to drop I love
And
you.
and the lyrical hook from one of my songs that honors you: any male can be a father, but it takes a special man to be a dad. You go for it, baby. You go for it. Love you.
Love you
Honor
guys.
you.
Thank you.
I,
Thanks.
I, I love you both so much. Dave, go have fun. Thank you so much. Dan, you and I are going to do so many more things together. We just had a chat about it. Your energy, this conversation was much deeper than I expected. It was just great. I just have so much love and respect for you, and I'm so excited to build the relationship with you. It's like this is just the beginning. So thank you so much for being here today and sharing your wisdom, your gems, and your unbelievable energy.
Thanks. I love you. You know that. And, everybody needs to know when they tune into you, you're this handsome, perfect guy. Your hair hasn't moved since 1987. And I'm losing my hair here. I'm growing it in places I don't even need it. Not a fair trade-off. My only hope is that the hair in my right ear will grow long enough I can comb it up over the top of my head and fake everybody out. But what I want everybody to know about you is that you are exactly the same on stage, on camera as you are off. And that's why I love you. That's why I honor you. That's why you epitomize. You are trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent, baby. You're my hero. And like you said, I can't wait to do some things together. As we talked about propelling out of pain, may I just consolidate my contribution to this amazing interview. We've all heard things happen for a reason, but because of my pain and my experiences, and cancer when I was 8, and coming from out of COVID, I was hospitalized, almost died, couldn't breathe, 30 minutes away from being intubated. What I now know is that things happen for a reason, but it's our responsibility to figure out what that reason is. And you and I were brought together for some bigger reason. Your amazing assistant Jessica, she's in your life and in my life for a reason. Amazing, beautiful soul. And so I'm curious about everyone who joins you and everyone who joined us this morning in the chat. Let's start thinking about what bigger thing we're supposed to be doing, because somehow we've been brought together to do something larger than ourselves, larger than life, to make the world a better place. So everybody leaves us saying, I like me best when I'm with you. I want to see you again. Thanks for having me, Craig.
Love you so much, brother, and we'll talk soon, Dan. Have an
Thanks.
unbelievable. Thank you, buddy.
See you, man.
Great episode, guys. Everyone have an unbelievable weekend. Sharpen the axe. So many gems today. So honored to share the stage today with Dan, Dave, just all the things. If you guys aren't already in the CLS daily texting community, text the number on the bottom of the screen. Big Bob Heller in the house, 917-634-3796. Go ahead and text that number. And mindset, inspiration, all the things every day. That's what it's all about. The most important muscle and biggest, most expensive computer on planet Earth is this. We got to keep this right, and then that opens up everything else. So leave the audience with this. I love you all so much. I hope you got a ton of gems. Chef Marshall in the house. I love you guys so much. Hope you all see LB, Rachie, everybody's out today. Sending our love to Carrie, part of the CLS family. It was a big race this morning she's been training for. Big Justin in the house. Love you, brother. Everybody have an unbelievable weekend. Sharpen the axe. Propel yourself forward. Change your perspective. If pain happened, it's there to send you this way. Love you guys.